just bring it down for the start here. All right, good day, good evening, and a big massive hello to everybody. Hello, my name is LauraPetal, she, her. We're going to be running Ridge Racer Type 4 today. It's going to be a fun time. Let me introduce my co-com.
Hi, I'm Fantastic Fox.
Thank you very much, and yeah, we'll get you the details of this run right here. So a quick lowdown of the tech that you're going to see here. We're running this on the original PlayStation 1 version that I've got in my hands right here, on the PlayStation 2 Slim, and the big important kit you see on the interview as well is our Negicon controller right here. You've got the hand cam to the side of me, so you can see me using the controller as such as we play the game. So yeah, this should be awesome to do. Thank you very much for having me on for this one. It's an amazing opportunity. So I'm going to get into the menu to start here. So before we start the run, there will be just a bit of a word of what's going on at the start here. There's some menuing at the start of the run. We basically start time on RTA when we hit the start of Grand Prix mode. But there is some menuing tricks that we can do to slightly speed things up. But the inputs need to be pretty precise. There's a bit of leeway, but they need to be pretty precise. It's either you're too late, in which case we still get the same menu options, which is fine. If it's too early, that'll be a reset, in which case we will have to go back to this menu, start it again, and I'll just go for the menus normally. But for the first time, we will try some of the quick menu skips. So we'll see how that goes. So I've got my people in here. Are you all ready to see this go?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, brilliant. Okay, so time is going to start when we hit the Grand Prix mode, and let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Right. I may need some focus time just to make sure this menuing is good enough. Welcome to the real. The run is blessed. Let's go. Right, let me get this. Number 1 is good. Number 1 menu is good. Number 2 is fine. And the menuing is done. All right, the run can live. Let's go.
All right.
All right, then. So welcome to a vibe of a video game here, made by Namco in 1998, 1999 in the European markets. And get ready to pay attention here. Blink and you'll miss most of the tech that we will use in this run here. So here we go. Shift up some gears at the start. And then here we go immediately with a launch start. We call that rocket start. And then into another tech here. We're using the cars like so to boost ourselves along and relax, get into the groove. Off we go then. So what we're going to do here is make our way as quickly as we can through all of the other racing car traffic and get into first place as quickly as we can in the 2 laps we've got here. We're going to do 8 races in the Grand Prix modes in total, with car upgrades along the way and lots of cool stuff in here. So basically, you saw the 2 quick start texts that we got right at the start there. We have the launch start, which you need to be in manual transmission to be able to pull off. It's essentially setting off and gearing in such a way that you mess with the car's RPMs to get a boosted start, almost like a nitro start. And then the other thing we did as well was use the other cars around us to essentially just bump us forward. I like to affectionately call that the Mackie boost, but yeah, it's essentially just those tricks there. We're going to be using those techs for pretty much all of the races in this GP. One of them might become less needed, less necessary as we go along, but we're already into lap 2 here. We're already into the first place. I'll hand it over to my co-com for some tasty info.
Sure. So during that menuing, which was definitely blink and you'll miss it, Laura was selecting the team and manufacturer. And basically the team, there's 4 teams and 4 manufacturers. The team is kind of the difficulty and some basic tuning stuff, and then the manufacturer determines how the car handles. So Laura picked RTS and Tarazi, RTS being the second hardest but the fastest, and Tarazi being the fastest grip type. And the difference between grip and drift is grip is about braking to make turns, whereas drift is about drifting to make turns. So we're not going to see the drifting. And there was a trick right there, actually. One additional trick just on this one course where you shift down on the uphill section to go a little bit over the max speed. And now we're on to Wonder Hill.
Yeah, there'll be some moments where we do that gear manipulation, another time to try and get boosts of speed going on here. So we go on to track 2 here, on to number 2 track called Wonder Hill. The map boost here might be a bit tricky, so let me focus in on this one. We'll get the launch start first. Off we go. So let me see how much I can get of the map boost here. This may be a lot or none at all. Let's see. You know what? We'll take that. We've got a bit of a tap on our way around here. A little bit of a kiss from the other car. Made us lose a bit of speed, but otherwise, I will take that. We'll roll with it, and we'll see what we can make of it. So off we go again here. Yeah, so the tech's really kind of very easy, I think, in this run here. You just need to know about the launch start and trying to use the other cars around here to boost the way. And the rest of the run, really, is basically, if you are good or have a lot of knowledge about general racing lines and racing techniques, you're pretty much set for, I think, starting this run, getting started in this run, because it's very easy, I think, very approachable, and very good once you're into the zone of it here. So we're just going to take all the tight lines that we can and make sure to avoid contact with walls. We don't want to bonk off walls, and we definitely don't want to bonk off cars either. There's some fail-safes that we can do if we do end up doing some bonks on walls or cars, which we'll get to if it should happen, but we can use more gear manipulation essentially to try and save as much speed loss as possible.
Laura, is it all right if I jump in real quick here?
If you want to, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to let everyone know and say a big congrats and thank you, because we just hit 21K, everyone.
Fantastic, let's go.
So GG's all around. That was in part from a $25 donation from Weird Lewis Walker, who says, go for it, Laura, get her done, Ridge Racer, as well as $100 from I Like Cake, who says, hype. I'll get some hypes in the chat for 21K. Let's keep it going. That Deltarune incentive is coming up on getting met, but we have about $355 left on that. I know you may think you have time, but remember, these next few runs are fast. So do not hesitate to get those donations in to Lambda Legal for that Deltarune incentive.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Weird, as well. I know that person, very much a good friend of mine. Fox, what else you got for us?
Well, I was going to say, you know, as much as some of the Ridge Racer games have really funky tech, this one is pretty straightforward, not for lack of trying to crack something really wild. We've got a few pieces of tech that are unusual, but most of it is pretty straightforward, and I think that makes a great experience. But you're not going to see anyone going out of bounds on this one, or doing constant shift up and down to go uphill or anything wild like that.
Yeah, there's select moments where we'll do some manipulation of that stuff, but essentially, yeah, it's very approachable. You just need to know good racing lines, and you can get pretty competitive pretty quickly in this video game here. So that is 2 races down immediately. We're going to get some quick other menus to go through. It'll give us a quick save menu if we want to save, which we want to skip because that's like a few seconds down the drain, so we'll make sure to hit no. And we've got a new car ready to roll. We like to call this the 3-wheeler. It is a fantastic looking vehicle in this path that we go here, and we're going to start now into technically GP2 of our run here, so essentially race number 3 in Edge of the Earth. So for the launch start, we're going to have more gears to play with. We're going to go up to 4th and then launch in 5th. And I'm going to keep it into the camera here just so I can... Oh, okay, we slightly missed up there, but that's fair enough. So I was trying to get for the Mappy Boost without shifting into the chase cam that you see here. I prefer chase cam, but the start line of this track is a bit fiddly to try and get to the chase cam and also make the slight turn in the start line at the same time. So I've tried to learn that position and setup with the bumper cam. It didn't quite work out there, but honestly, not too big of a deal. We'll just roll with it as it is. And that is essentially all there is to it. We have... you might be hearing some of the awesome music that's going on here. It is a combination effort of several Japanese composers, chief among which I think some of the main ones are Kota Takahashi, Asuka Sakai, Hiroshi Okubo, those kinds of people and other Japanese artists have contributed to the awesome soundtrack, which I think is one of my most favorites of any game out there, I believe. We're listening to here Naked Glow, which is one of the top tier ones in my opinion, as we start lap 2 here. And also, just have a look at, like, I think for 1998-99, this still looks like a very good video game here. All the lighting and all of the set pieces that we go through each track, they look all really fun, and they make the driving experience really fun to do. We've got a secret pioneering broad shading technique on the cars, which makes them look really good under all the lights and shadows and sunlights that we come through. And so, what should we say if Com's got any more comments? You can let him have it now.
I was just going to echo the soundtrack to this game is easily in my top video game soundtracks of all time. Like, it's so good. Just even if you don't have necessarily an interest in racing, check out the soundtrack because it is just incredible.
It is a great just album in its own right here. I also noticed what we're doing here, running through a live airport runway. Every so often you might see a jet either taking off or landing over there. We went under one of the runway bridges. I love the set pieces in this game. I wanted to be in the meeting room when the organizers of this race in particular was like, where should we have our race? Hey, look, there's the live airport runway. Brilliant, give that man a race. It'll be brilliant. I love it. If there's any more updates on incentives or donations, I'll hand that to our host.
Yes, absolutely. We have $20 that has come in from Eback the Cat, who says, saying hi from jolly old England. It's time for my good friend LauraPetal to gather some pedal power and put pedal to the metal for GDQ. Let's keep those donations going, everyone. Trans rights are human rights. And yes, thank you so much for that donation. That is getting us ever closer to the Deltarune incentive being met. Just over $300 left on that one. I mean, honestly, I'd love to see us get that done by the end of this run. So if anyone's out there, who's just kind of been holding back and they're like, I don't know if now is the right time. It is. Now is the right time.
Anytime is always the right time here. Thank you very much, Eback, and all of my good friends. So that was Edge of the Earth now wrapped up here. These little bits of dialogues that I'm skipping through here, there is actually plot to this video game, believe it or not. Depending on which manufacturer you choose, there's an individual storyline with each team, which if you want to go on a slow playthrough, you can see it there. And let's go to our next track here, Out of Blue.
Yeah, we don't see any of the team managers' faces in here, but the art is really lovely.
I might also beat my estimate by quite a bit.
Yellowish, orangish, and black shaded, which you can see a lot of that color scheme in the menus.
Maybe 5.
It's really well done portraits of these. I think it's based on actual photographs of these team managers, and they have a lot of different expressions and. There's a whole story that plays out differently depending on how well you do in a race, and it's very cool.
Just having a bit of a rough one there, some bonks on walls which are deceivingly placed there. Like, you feel like you're not hitting them, but you in fact are going to hit them because the collisions can be a bit devilish at times, and also having some contacts with the other cars as well, especially when we want to hit our teammate because team orders. But yeah, you might recognize some of the bits of this track here. We're going up the same hill that we did in track number 1, because some of the track layouts do get reused through the storyline of the game. We do revisit old locations, but with new course layouts, just the start lines will be kind of familiar to you here. And by the way, shout out to Lucid Rhythms here as well. I think this is the perfect soundtrack for this race in particular.
Yeah, 100%. This is one of my favorite courses in the game visually. I love this little section where you're going past the dock and there's the boats and the shipping containers and stuff, and then that really, really sharp turn.
The right angle of death, I like to call it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where the difficulty really starts ramping up, is like starting here, and then you kind of get a reprieve in Phantom Isle, and then it just escalates until it eases back down for the very final race.
Yeah, you thought like the first half of this was a pretty easy ride. You just wait until we get into the second half. It'll get a bit dicey and edgy on there, but we'll do our best for it for sure. So let's go for it again. One more lap around here, and it's going good here. You might see all the Namco advertisements plastered around here. This was the time period where makers of their games were like, hey, let's shoehorn in all the advertisements for all our other games into this package here. We've got things for like Ace Combat and some other things as well that are all Namco related. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, I got a bit too early for the turn, so I have hit the wall. But what I've done is quickly shifted down beforehand to try and before hitting the wall to try and mitigate speed loss. That's a technique you can do to try and save yourself through there. But obviously, no bonking is always the best strategy to do. But there is a safe thing that you can try and pull off to try and make it not so bad for yourself. And alright, we'll go up and say goodbye to the first half of here. This is going by very, very quickly, as you can probably tell. So do keep those donations coming in if you can for a great cause of Lambda Legal. And off we go then. So we have finished GP2 section, so it'll give us another quick save menu option that we need to skip through. So we'll go like that. Dunzo, and it's another car upgrade. Which personally, I love the look of this thing here. If you like a classic Formula 1, which I do, I'm a big Formula 1 fan. If you like that kind of thing, this thing will remind you of the old 60s style Formula 1 races back in the day. You know, the old Hondas, the old Lotuses. Those things look really cool here. And welcome to Phantom Isle. Speaking of Namco references, in the name itself. We've got 6 gears to play with here. I'm going to shift down for the launch start, and then make sure we shift back up into 6 because we need to use all those gears because top speed is obviously best speed. And yeah, this one will go by very, very quickly. This is the shortest race of the game, the shortest track. I'm going to try to go for the inside there. Did it, but then hit the one on the outside. So no worries at all. We'll get back up. And then welcome to one of the hardest turns in the course there. We'll get that right on another run there, so don't worry about that, hopefully. So, yeah, we'll get through very quickly here. Fox has got some things to say maybe about what we're doing here, the shortest track, so we need to speak quickly.
Yeah, this is, it's going to be over before we know it. This is one of my favorite cars to be doing this with, too, the Starlight. It's just, the speed picks up so much, and you've got like a certain degree of control of it. There's some pretty rough turns in here, but especially with the Negicon, you've got this smooth turn right here where you can kind of take it easy. It's just, you can see it's like 30 seconds to complete a lap, which is tiny on the R4 race level. Mm-hmm. Usually they're around a minute to a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's like half the time basically in this race alone compared to all the other ones. It does go by very, very quickly. Also, there's a cute nickname for this track as well. We like to call it the sock because if you see the track layout in the corner, it does look like a sock. It's just it was a bit of a rough one, that one, but we will still take that as it is. You can see that one by very, very quickly. Right, we need to say something about the next track coming up here in Brightest Night. I'm going to need the chat to take part in something very important, but also very fun here. The next track is going to have a big jump in it. You'll know it when you see it. I will also point it out when we get into it as well. When that jump comes up, I need the chat to spam Salto in the chat, S-A-L-T-O, for a shout out to the McCraython and the Ridge vs. Speedrunning community as well. So shout Salto when we get to those jumps. That, keep it in the chase, keep it in the bumper cam, and then go to the chase cam when I've got some free space on the straight here. And welcome back to the airports, and welcome back to one of the absolute just like mood setter tracks of the game. The Objective is the name of the track that we're listening to here, and it is so thematic for this run.
Well, so Laura, speaking of arrivals, can I let everyone know that we have arrived at a donation amount of only $185 left for that Deltarune incentive. We are already under 200 left to meet that, so we are getting so close. Again, I think we can get this before the end of this run.
Salto! I need you to be spamming Salto whenever we go over that jump right there. You've got 2 more chances to do it, okay? Right then, what else has Fox got to say about this as we just make our way into first place? We're going to use the inside line here. You notice that the AIs do not use the inside line through that tunnel there, but we do. For some reason, they're just not programmed to do that, and it's obviously the shortest line through that we're allowed to go. So obviously, being a racer in mind, we do use the shortest line possible wherever we can. And yeah, it's as we just approach our first place guy here. Take care of this poser. Done. Nice and
I always thought it was let's take care of this hoser. Like a Canadian.
Who knows what the announcer says sometimes? He's got some really garbled lines he says sometimes. If you're doing like time trial practice, he's got some garbled lines in there. My grandma drives faster than get in the program. It's so good. All right, chat, get ready. Here comes another one. Here comes another one. Salto. Shout outs to the McRae-a-thon where that sort of originated from, and also to the Ridge Racer community for that as well. What else have you got, Fox?
I don't have too much for this. This is another one that's super aesthetic for the course, but there's not too much going on that's funky on this particular track other than the giant jump, which
and the jet
is actually
hello.
You actually have to slow down with the extra not the extra trial, or maybe in the extra trial too, but definitely if you're using the one of the extra trial cars, you have to slow down before you make that jump because you will just run right into the wall on the opposite side if you don't.
Yeah, you've got to prepare for it, definitely. As we go and approach it for one more time. When we do the jump salto, I'll hand it over to the host for some extra donations if there is, so get ready, host. One more time, chat. Salto! Right,
Salto!
Salto!
Nice.
All right.
Nice, thank you.
Yes, and I do have a couple more donations if we can.
Yes, go for it, yeah.
Wonderful. We have $25 going towards Lambda Legal. That comes from Charles S., who says, "Queers forever. Go fast and save the frames while liberating the queer movement." And we also have $100 towards Lambda Legal from Kavatica, who says, "Extremely proud to donate to this event as well as the partnership with Lambda Legal. Good luck to all the runners and hoping to see an all recruitment run for Deltarune tonight. I am hoping to see that too. We only need $160 for that. That means we're basically at 90% of the way there. Technically it's 89, but I'm going to say 90%. We round up here. So please, 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 before the end of this run, this is nothing, chat. You've got this. Please help me in supporting Lambda Legal here. I'd love to read your donations. So just 160 left, and then we've got that Deltarune incentive met."
Nice one. Get it met, everyone. Right, I need to get serious mode here because we are in a notorious track in this game called Heaven and Hell. It's either going to be heavenly or it's going to be hellish. We'll see how it goes here. You'll notice that it's similar to track 2 in this start here, but we're in a much faster vehicle, so much so that actually to make this turn, I am going to take the safe option and brake to make sure I get around there. Maybe a bit too much brake than is warranted, but it's just safety at the end of the day because this track does worry people so much. Runs end here that are on good pace. Need to pick a good line so I can flat out through this turn here. It's very scary, but we've done it. As we go up into the hills of the track here, then we've got some right angles to do here and team orders that hopefully my teammate follows. Good job. And down this little straight here, and there's another little tight turn that I want to try and get flat out if I can. I've got to pick a marker point to do my turning point when this blue sign goes to the side of the screen. That is perfect. Very nice indeed.
Wow.
So Fox, yeah, you also don't like this track, I imagine.
This is my favorite track in the game.
Oh, seriously? Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'll admit it is terrifying, even on the Grand Prix, but especially when you're doing the Dig Racing Team extra trials. This is the ultimate trial. And I love it. You know, I love when it plays Move Me. That's my favorite track, my favorite song in the game. And I think we've got a different song playing.
We have the ride in the Solvaloo pack here with the RTS team. But there are parts of this that do sound pretty heroic, and honestly, you need that good vibe to make sure you get through and have, like I said, the heavenly run here. So awesome stuff.
Yeah, you're killing it.
Yeah, trying to straighten out as many of these turns here. We're going to go, that's my turning for the day. Another flat through there. I'm going to go for 3 for free on that one. If I can, this will be a very, very good run. I reckon, like, yeah, we're just sneaking to a 107 in-game time. Like, only just, but 107 is good lap pace for here, I think. Definitely so.
And Laura,
Right,
do I have a moment to cut in here?
Okay, please do, yes.
Wonderful. Well, I want to let you all know that Deltarune incentive did get met, so thank you all so much. I knew you could do it before the end of this run. Thank you all. That was incredible work, incredible, all going towards Lambda Legal. And in part, I want to shout out a donation of $25 from Miranda, who said, Salto!
Nice. Good job. Yes, salto. There's going to be like technical. There's like a little mini salto coming up here with a little jump down as we go into these two right-handers here, right angles here. So if we go like this, get a little mini one in. Why not? Salto. just any time we do that there. But yeah, otherwise, I've had a pretty good heaven and hell here. I am very, very glad to get this during the speedrun here. Just one more here. Get a little difficult with the lap traffic, but this should still be okay. Okay, not quite flat, did take a save, but we have made it there, and that is the hardest and most terrifying bit of the run done, and we will then go on to essentially our victory lap race. We have one more to come here, so there is not long left to get some last-minute donations in. I thank you for everybody doing so far. Okay, one more. We don't want to save, because that wastes 3 seconds. And then welcome to this beast that we get for the final race here. Right, coming in, and then one more quick dial, let's get there, and it is shooting hoops time. You see the date there? It is saying December 31st. This canonically takes place on New Year's Eve in-game universe, which I think is really cool. You'll see some of the cool effects of that as well. Slightly different gearing there you just saw, launching in the 4th gear instead. In fact, yeah, every one of the cards that you use, the gear shifting technique is kind of a bit different, so do pay attention for that. But essentially, this run here is kind of the victory lap. I still do need to pay attention, like, every now and then, because getting these tight lines wherever we can, avoiding the traffic, and just making sure that we can go flat out for basically the entirety of the race. There's lots of laps to do here. You can see there's 6 laps to do. But yeah, this is the re-track, as I like to call it. Flat out for basically all of it. Pick your lines well, and you will get a quick time here for your sign-off from the any percent run here. Any last words from Fantastic Fox before we think about wrapping up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say this is, as much as this is kind of an easy race, at least compared to Heaven and Hell, this track has ended runs for me where I just took one wrong turn and you lose so much speed on this particular vehicle. So there's still pressure, even though it's kind of like you got through the hardest part.
Yeah, there's still a lot on the line here. If I do a bonk, you'll see that speed go down. We're up to like 330 kilometers an hour through here, but that will drop. That got very close on that inside, I will say. Holy goodness. Okay, we're halfway through here. One last shout out for donations, if there are any in to read. So go ahead, Kate.
Indeed. Yes, of course. So, another individual who helped us reach that Deltarune incentive and helped us support Lambda Legal was Kirby Rocks, who donated $200 and said, "We're not free till we're all free, trans rights." So thank you so much, Kirby. The support is incredible. And again, please keep getting those donations in. We may have met this incentive, but there is so much more marathon to go, so please keep getting those in.
Yes, thank you for that. Huge numbers are coming in, so yeah, quick shout outs here. I will say that we're getting into the final lap very, very soon, and time will be when we cross the line and finish this race, basically. You should be able to tell when it happens, but I want to get my quick thanks in here. Shout outs to the folks in the Ridge Racer speedrunning community, not just for Ridge Racer Type 4, but for all of the Ridge Racer games. You can get details from the speedrun.com website if you want to join the Discord. I want to quickly shout out as well the HUD 601 and the arcade communities for giving me the speedrun bug again and being awesome people to hang out with as well, and all of my personal friends. I've seen some who have donated today. Thank you very much for that as well. Right, as the track drops, Kimara Lovelace drops the track, and time is coming up very, very soon. When we cross the line, this is a pretty good run, I think. And that is time.
GG's.
Very good time. I can say that at least one of those splits was a PB for me. But yeah, I think a 28-11. I think that was roughly. That is a very, very good run for this time here. Only a few seconds away from my 28.05 PB on this one. Yep. Very, very happy to show this off and do a pretty good job of it as well. The menu in at the start and most of the races were pretty smooth as well. So yeah, thank you for having me on for this one, and thank you to Fantastic Fox as well for joining me in this one and giving such good commentary as well. Any last things you want to say, Fantastic?
I just wanted to echo thank you to the speedrun, the Ridge Racer speedrunning community. They've been super accepting, at a time when, way back when I joined and I wasn't sure about being trans and being in speedrun communities. They were super welcoming and always positive. It's a great community, and the games are excellent soundtracks, really just great games to speedrun. So do check that out if you're interested in speedrunning.
And yeah, echoing from me as well, please keep supporting the cause that Lambda Legal is doing here with this speedrun here for Games Done Queer. It is super important now more than ever, and obviously we want as much money as we can to help champion what the amazing work that Lambda Legal do over there. Definitely not just trans rights, but LGBTQ plus rights all across the board for all of us. We all deserve it. We all deserve love. And I am very, very happy with this run. I hope the chat was happy with it as well. And with that all said, that is going to be the finale of this run. We'll just watch this here for a little bit. But that is it for Ridge Racer Type 4. Thanks for having me. I'll hand it back to the host. Thank you for having me.